Artists and designers use value to define form, create spatial illusions, and add compositional balance to their drawings. Take a look at this value drawing. Note the application of value, creating the illusion of form, volume, and space in the drawing. Value is defined as the relative lightness or darkness of a color. Nikki, a Minneapolis College of Art and Design fine arts major, is demonstrating value application for us. She begins her drawing process by creating a value scale. This sensitizes her to the range of values provided in the still life and helps her translate the color of the objects into black, white, and gray. She first establishes the lightest and darkest values in the scale and then works her way towards middle gray. This process allows Nikki to establish an even gradation of values along that scale. You may notice that the value steps appear to be lighter on the side next to the darker value. This is an illusion called simultaneous contrast, and it will fool your eye often as you work with value. Finished with her value scale, Nikki uses her viewfinder to choose a composition and creates a number of thumbnail drawings of the still life. Next, she prepares a middle gray foil on her paper. To create a foil, she tapes her paper down along all edges, chooses a small piece of vine charcoal that fits easily between her fingers and thumb, and gently applies the charcoal over the entire sheet of paper. Then she rubs out the value with a paper towel, using lots of pressure to create a gray foil or background for the entire drawing. This foil helps her determine and translate light and dark values in the still life. The foil's overall value matches the middle gray of her value scale. Generally, this process is repeated 2 or 3 times in order to create an even gray foil over the entire sheet. With her foil applied, Nikki moves on to sighting, measuring, and mapping. She uses her thumbnail drawings from earlier to determine where the objects will go on the page. Once the placement of the objects are established on the paper, she takes a few moments to squint at the still life. Squinting helps the eye moderate and visualize the values and identify the light, middle, and dark values. Identifying the lightest values in the still life, she erases areas in the drawing where the value is the lightest. She then identifies the darkest areas and uses compressed charcoal to literally push them back into the still life. Once the white and black values are laid in, she can begin to rub the values together to create even gradations. Nikki constantly compares color lightness and darkness, identifying value relationships in the drawing. This technique is known as value relativity. She continues to refine the drawing by adding and subtracting value through layering, rubbing, hatching with both the charcoal and the eraser. She begins to notice and define subtleties in the value shifts, areas of highlight, light, shadow, core shadow, reflected light, and cast shadow. To resolve the value drawing, Nikki clarifies shapes and forms and mops up fingerprints and unintentional marks. The gradations between the various values and the attention to the light source using value relativity gives the drawing an appearance of volume, light, and space. So let's take one final look at the drawing and see what we notice. First, the drawing contains a range of values from white to black determined by the value scale. Second, various strategies are used to apply the value: direct application, rubbing, hatching, and erasing. Third, volume, form, space, light, and composition are defined and explored through the application of value. Finally, in addition, value is expressive and creates mood in the drawing. Now it's your turn to try. Give yourself at least 2 hours of focused studio time to do this drawing. Make sure you have control over your light source. Thank you again for watching our video on value application.